And then finally for today, I've wanted to kind of get into something that I don't talk about too much, and that is the Mac Finder, right? The Finder is kind of like our workhorse. It's the main interface for our Macs, and I think we kind of just take it for granted. There's a lot of stuff in there, though, a lot of cool little tricks that I think you may or may not know. Some of these are pretty common, maybe, or well known, and I think others are maybe not as well known. And if you don't know the trick, then you don't know about it. So I thought I'd go through some of my favorite kind of hidden or lesser known Finder tricks, and hopefully you learned something from this. And I'm hoping that by sharing some of mine with you, that you'll share some of yours with me as well. So one thing that I think some people don't know about is the fact that you can move menu bar items around in the menu bar. So a lot of apps put little icons up in that upper right hand corner. Most you can actually move around. Not all of them. Things like the date and time, that's fixed, but other menu bar items you can move around. So if you don't like, where the sound menu bar item is, or one of your third party menu bar items is, you can actually move it. And the trick for moving it is just to hold down the command key when you click on the icon, and then you can drag it around and simply move it into a new position, put it where you like. So that's pretty cool. If you're like me, another one is sometimes you might not be able to find your cursor on the screen. You get it into a weird spot and you can't kind of figure out where it is. For this trick, you do need to go into System Preferences, into Accessibility, and click on Display, and then click on the Pointer tab. But what you can do is you can check on an option that says Shake Mouse Pointer to Locate. And if you have that turned on, what you can do is when you shake your mouse or, wiggle back and forth on your trackpad, your pointer will grow in size and become really big on your screen and help you find it. And I have to use that one, I think, more than I'd like to admit. Another really cool trick is, did you know you can easily tile your windows on your Mac built in without any third-party software? There's some great third-party apps for this, like Moom, but built in is kind of a simpler version of this. If you just simply hover over the green stoplight icon in a window, you will get a little drop-down menu, and you will see options to tile the window to the left side of the screen or to the right side of the screen. And basically you can create a split screen scenario like that pretty easily. So what happens is you hover over it. If you choose, say, split or tile to the left side of the screen, what will happen is that app will move to the left side of the screen, and then it will show you the other available apps on the other side, and you can select one of those, and it will pop up on the right side of the screen, perfectly split in half, so you can have both apps open on one screen. It kind of goes into that full screen mode. To get out of it, you can click the little green icon in the window again, and that will take it out of tile and full screen mode and back to normal. But yeah, built into macOS, you can actually just tile your windows if you'd like. Another cool one is if you want to see hidden files in the Finder, you can type Command-Shift-, and this will toggle hidden files on or off inside the Finder. So there's a lot of hidden files built into the operating system. This is particularly handy if you're like me and you're a web developer and you have to actually get into some of those hidden folders to do things like the SSH folder. I will say be careful with this one because many of the hidden files are used by the system or by apps, and you really don't want to move or delete or mess with them too much. But if you just need to get in there and kind of look through things and poke around, this is a handy little tip. So Command-Shift-, and again, that will toggle hidden files on or off in the Finder. Another cool one is to get a list of emojis. There's a little emoji menu, so you can find all your emojis and you can actually search it. For this one, all you have to do is press Control, Command, and the spacebar, and the emoji menu will pop up. So I use that one quite a bit as well. And this works not just in the Finder, it works in a lot of apps. Almost anywhere you would do text entry on your Mac, you can use that one. Many of us know in the Finder how to copy and paste a file to copy it from one location to the other using keyboard shortcuts. Command C, right, for copy, Command V for paste. But did you know there is actually a way to move the file instead that's pretty easy, and that's just adding the Option key to the paste command. So if you hold down Command plus Option plus V when you paste, it will actually move that file in the Finder rather than copy it. So if you need to take it from one location to the other, this is really handy if you have to go, several layers deep in your Finder, so you don't have to do the whole drag thing. I do use the spring-loaded. I guess this would be another tip. Maybe people don't know that you can do the spring-loaded folders. So if you're dragging a file in the Finder and you hold it over a folder, that folder will pop open, and then you could do that again and again and again, and you could move your file that way. But an even easier way is just Command C it, so start to copy it, and then move to the location where you want to move it, and do Command plus Option plus V, and that will move the file rather than create a copy of it. And another handy one, I guess, related to this keyboard shortcut for moving files around in the Finder is Command plus Delete. So if you select a file and hit Command plus Delete, that will move it to the trash. Just be, again, careful with that one because you don't want to delete files accidentally, but that one I use quite a bit too. Another one of my favorite features, and I think this is pretty well known, but sometimes I show this to folks and they didn't know this existed, and that is Quick Look in the Finder. That's been around for a long time, but many files in the Finder, if you select them and then just tap the space bar, you can get a preview in the Finder of that without even having to open the app. And this is particularly handy, I think, for things like PDFs or Pages documents or Word documents, Excel, PowerPoint. You can get a preview. You don't even have to open the app, and you can even flip through like an entire numbers document or a keynote presentation and not even ever have to open the app. And it's really handy with images. You can do multiple images and get like a little photo gallery. So if you select a whole bunch of images and hit the space bar, I just really, really love Quick Look, and even third-party apps will have support for it. So play around with that one if you haven't done that. And then the last one I have for you is another one. If you use the column view in the Finder, you can quickly mark up a PDF file by selecting that PDF in the Finder in column view, and then in the little preview column, you'll see a button for markup. And if you click on that, it will open up that file for marking it up, so you can put annotations and notes and things like that on it without even having to open up the preview app. And it's really handy for like annotating screenshots. Again, as a web developer, it's something I have to often do to kind of share bugs and those sorts of things with somebody who I'm working with. And so I find that really, really handy. You can also, for different types of files in the Finder, do a similar thing in column view. You just select the file and then hit the little ... icon, and many files have additional options. A big one is like images. You can do things like rotate an image without opening an app. You can convert an image to a different format. So if you need to go from a PNG to a JPEG or something like that, you can do all of that in the Finder without even having to open up a third-party app. So there's a bunch of little cool tips and tricks for doing things in the Finder that you may or may not know about. But like I said, a big part of me sharing these with you is I want to find out if there's some that I haven't mentioned here, maybe I don't know about. So if you have a favorite little Finder trick or tip or hint, shoot me an email, or even better yet, record it up as a quick audio comment, and we'll try and share it on a future episode of the MacCast.